This area here is really near and dear to my heart. Words enough cannot express just the beauty of the area. It is something like out of a Tolkien novel. Mountains that are just absolutely massive, just gigantic. And I'm glad I had my drone all with me this time, because being on the ground trying to film with a camera really cannot convey just how big these mountains are and how jagged they are. I mean, I pushed my drone to the maximum I can legally and still I could not fully look all the way up at the top of these mountains. They're just that tall. But I did my best. I did my best. So I'm going to show you guys a whole lot more. Having a little bit of a trip out here, and I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I did. Unfortunately, with how dark it is in this valley, I don't think you could see these big old mountain peaks over my head. I'd have to zoom in on them specifically. But they're huge. As I said, cameras cannot convey size very well. These peaks are gigantic. I have gone past this waterfall so many times, and normally I don't even film it or think much about it, but with how much rain and snow we've been getting now, because it's that time of year, it's pretty impressive. The other waterfalls also, they're getting pretty impressive too. I'll keep showing you as I go along. They're just everywhere, just waterfalls everywhere, in places that used to not be waterfalls. Long way down. About 50-foot drop straight down on this cliff right here. I don't want to get any closer. I don't want to test the sturdiness of the ground. Especially since it's kind of carved in on one side. You can kind of see it if I pick it around. This waterfall is very special to me. I actually added it to Google Maps. It wasn't even on Google Maps. I'm not going to tell you where it is. You'll have to find it yourself. But you'll know you found it. You only find images of myself and my wife. It was very icy when I was here with her. Whoa, winter wonderland. It was gorgeous. And to add to the precariousness of this place, the cliff continues to even more waterfalls. That is a long way down. And there is no coming back from that if you fall in there. You're toast. You are toast. Lake's blown out. Don't know what else to do. There's no duck. Can't go fishing. I showed you a video of what this place looked like before, which is on my channel, by the way. If you look at the 3-day and some of the other shorts, I'm probably 20 feet underneath the water. Well, it would be underneath the water now. So this lake is way up here. The fire pit right there that was like way up here as well. This is all that underbrush is, oh no, oh wait, all that underbrush is just totally underwater. You want me to throw it again for you? Go get it. I don't know how that water is not freezing cold to you. Okay, because I'm a chowderhead and I forgot to film this properly. So what I got right here, some coho salmon that I caught earlier this season, fall. Put some lime and a little bit of tahine. And if you know, you know. If you don't, you're missing out. Tahine, I'm telling you, on some smoked salmon, a little bit of cedar. Get that smoke down, nice and smoky. And I was a dunce and I forgot to film again. So I got some hash browns, moved my salmon over to the side. Okay, I'm gonna start getting packed up. Start going into some lower elevation areas. Love hanging out up here, but I've said before, there's nothing up here. Maybe occasional grouse, I'll see them, but I'm not gonna find any elk in this elk season right now. I think I saw maybe one time a couple years ago, I saw one doe up here, and it was further down. For some reason, I never, ever see wildlife out here, and I hardly see any sign of them either. You don't find deer pellets, you don't find elk pellets, you don't find bear scat, you don't find anything out here for animals. Honestly, I just think maybe it's just too extreme. Maybe, I don't know. But for some reason, beyond me being able to go fishing in some of these lakes, and I can't do it today. You saw earlier, the lakes are blown out. There's nothing I can do about that. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, I'm going to head down further along where the logging areas are. Up here, there's not really any logging. It's actually more burn star or avalanche. I'm thinking probably this will be the last time I get to come up to this particular spot for the rest of the year. Because this area just totally gets buried in snow. It already had one good snowfall, but we had that nice little pineapple express that came in and washed a lot of the snow away, so I was able to still come up here. But it put a nice layer of snow up on the mountains, so I'm gonna go and continue on. Gotta get that fire put out and get repacked up, and I'll see you then. Boy, would you look at that. That looks that looks ominous. That right there is the classic ethereal, spooky nature of the Pacific Northwest. I'm used to seeing it, but sometimes even I have to sit back and be like, ooh, that looks creepy. That probably explains why people really get caught up in that Bigfoot nonsense. It really does things to your mind. Even I happen to be looking around just because it does something to your brain. To quote Dr. Mark Crislip, the infectious disease doctor in Portland, Oregon, I don't know if he's the original person, but this is who I heard it from. Rational thought is not the default mode of the mind. A little about myself. I happen to be a psychology and interdisciplinary studies major. That's what I did for my undergrad. So the human psyche is something I've always found interesting. And this right here, great example of that. Of just what it does to you. And it's not just over there behind me. It's all up and down in that forest. Look at that. It is spooky. Kind of makes you always want to look over your shoulder. It's amazing how the human mind is so impressionable. For those who are probably a little more on the superstitious side, I can see why. It heightens your fight or flight senses. Every single noise becomes amplified. Very primal.